isolation, not one of these might be the answer. Together, there might be a viable answer and one that is preferred to an increase in VAT, which we saw earlier this year. Now, the Commission understands that there was, of course, a 15 billion rand shortfall in the budget and that difficult fiscal policy choices had to be made. However, the issue of the basket of zero-rated exempted goods, as well as the expansion of the social protection system, should have been investigated before an increase in VAT was implemented. Although grants were increased, social grants were increased to align with inflation and the increase in VAT, the most any particular grant increase was by 100 rand, and that is simply not enough. We have to bear in mind that we have a social protection gap in South Africa, in that able-bodied adults who are not caregivers do not receive any social grants. And yet, at the same time, we've got endemic unemployment, with youth unemployment at 10% higher than the national average, at 36%. And this youth category then is sitting in an untenable position of not being able to find employment, so never being qualified to receive social security systems, which works through the labour market and then through employment structures, and then also not receiving any social grants. And we've got to remember that the Section 27 of the Constitution grants the right of access to social assistance to everyone who cannot support themselves or their dependents. So whether government policy complies with the constitutional guarantee is certainly arguable. In any event, we find that the increase in VAT threatens human rights, especially of the poor. And as mentioned, that other options to mitigate the effects of an increase in VAT should have been investigated before this decision was made. And we also propose then, or recommend, that government continues to review its tax system, while at the same time investigating how social protection can be expanded. And other researchers within the Human Rights Commission also take these questions of social assistance further in the research that they conduct.